mic is muted. Hello, hello, hello. I forgot y'all were there for a second. I was just dancing and having a good old jolly time because I needed that. And in a second, we're going to talk about why. But hello, hello, hello. I hope that you are having a marvelously made Monday, and that it's been filled with a lot of shining bright and hopefully expressing some kindness to someone in some way, shape, or form. So we're here for our Money Monday here at Inspire with Indy. But I do have to say, today we are being addressed as Paris. So please acknowledge us as such. No, but seriously, I have to throw a little bit of comedy in there just to keep myself afloat because, we go through so much on a day-to-day basis. So we have to do something to make ourselves feel alive and feel free. So let's do a little bit of a mental Monday check-in. How is everyone doing on today? Truly hope that you are doing well, that your day has been great. And, just before we get into our late lighters this week, I do just want to have a little bit of a transparent moment because, it's very important for us to check in with ourselves and see how we're doing. And, I asked y'all how y'all's day was going. And I want to talk a little bit about my day because I truly believe that, through transparency, that's how people get better. That's how people are able to really see a change in themselves by being real with yourself. And I'm the type of person that I'm an open book. There's a lot that I have been through in my life, a lot of different experiences, and I am not afraid to say, yes, I did that, and really tell what happened because of the fact that it can indeed help someone else. So for me, I would say that I did not have the best day today. So, like I say, in this moment of transparency, what I really want to do, because like I say, this is a very spontaneous environment, I was like, what do I want to talk about on tonight? And I was like, I want to talk about what to do when we are not having a good day or when it's not our best day, because we want to ensure that we take it, that we really that we're mindful of this and that we fix it so that it does not become a bad day doesn't turn into bad days and bad weeks and so on and so forth. So for me, I wouldn't say that I necessarily had a bad day, like something so bad happened. But just as we were speaking about on last month, we were talking about developing that growth mindset. And a lot of times, as we know, when we are developing that mindset, that growth mindset is going to take us learning how to navigate through and adapt and also embrace challenges. And so I had a challenge on today just because, not that it was hard, but because it was out of my comfort zone. I'm used to doing certain things a certain way and I kind of get into my little flows. And then when that is disturbed, then sometimes it's like, oh man, I got to adjust to some change. But ultimately, it's allowing for me to grow. But of course, there is a little, sometimes, you go through a little phase. And just a little side note, I'm one that, I'm big on structure, I'm big on order, and when things are not like that, it just takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's just not my ideal environment. However, what do we do when we are not having, like I say, I didn't have a bad day, but I believe that this is something that is good to talk about, because we're going to have those days where we're just not quite maybe feeling ourselves, or we're just, something bad literally did happen. So for me, and I want to apply this in a work sense and in a home sense, because I like to take a holistic approach. That way, we can kind of see, okay, how can I do this as it relates to work and, at home as well. Now, this is how I navigate through my bad days, and it has worked very well for me. And it might not work for you, but it might even guide you to, it might not be exactly what I do, but it might guide you to being in a place of mindfulness to say, how can I navigate through my bad days and what is going to work good for me? So when it comes to home, I want to talk about, how I navigated through a space of really being in a place where I was having multiple ongoing bad days, where I wouldn't say I was depressed, but it was right after a lot of things that happened in my life. And I've been through this several different times throughout my life because, I had to deal with healing through different, types of traumas that happened, just like domestically. And then after all that happened, I was like, okay, whew, that's over with. And then I had to deal with the trauma of grief, which, oh my gosh, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It's very, very hard, especially when you've just given birth and your child is only 10 days old and you're having to raise this newborn, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm crying, she's crying, everybody's crying, what do I do? So I was having a series of bad days, and then even after that, even here recently, and maybe the last year or so, I went through another series of, hard times where I was having a series of bad days. But one thing about it is that you would never know. Just like I said, I didn't have the best day today, but look, I'm still here smiling. I'm still here excited and genuinely happy. Like I was like, oh my gosh, when is it going to be 5:55 so that I can turn on this camera and talk? I was ready. And you would never really know that I'm going through certain things. And it's not because a matter of, and this is the point that, I believe that we all should get to. And it's not a matter of being fake. It's a matter of not letting your circumstances control how you treat people. Still being that kind person, still being, excited, still being happy, still being full of joy, even though your circumstances might say differently. So for me, one of the things that I do, like I said, I was going through a series of bad days, and I had this, I don't know if you even want to call it an epiphany, but it was this moment where I got to a point where like I literally was just sick and tired of crying. Like I was like, I don't even have any more tears to cry. Like I just don't have it. And so I what I did and what helps me get through my bad days, one of the main things, I'm gonna go over a couple, whatever I can come off the top of my head, because like I said, I want this to be spontaneous. And I want to say what needs to be said and not say what I don't need to say. So we're just going to let whatever flows flow. So I would say one of the big things of how I control my bad days is through music. And I would not necessarily say that this is one of the number one things, but I would say it probably is one of the number one things, because music, like I say, I've already talked about how it is a vibration, it's a frequency. And when you really just get into all that music truly is, it can shift your mood, it can shift, it can shift the atmosphere. So for me, I was having those series of bad days. I ran out of tears to cry. I felt like I don't have any more to cry. And so during that time, I was listening to a particular genre of music. I was listening to a lot of Christian music. I was listening to a lot of worship music. I was just like, I was trying to get, I was trying to get to a place of, I was really going through my healing process. I was trying to heal. And I was like that's based off my upbringing and things like that. That's what I felt like, that's what I needed to go to. But then I realized this is assisting in me crying. Like this is making me even more emotional, because now I'm having to relive a lot of different things. So I started by shifting the music that I was listening to. And so at that particular time in my life, I started listening to a lot of reggae music, because for me, it was like, I want to find something that I can listen to that's going to change my mood. And at that time, it was like, okay, I can listen to reggae music all day long. And it's like, it's hard to listen to reggae music and not like just want to, it makes you want to, you start feeling the music, and it's like, it's hard to be sad listening to some reggae music. So now at this point, when I have bad days, or if I'm, going, I feel myself, well, first of all, I try to catch myself before, and I don't even want to even use, we got to stop saying bad days, because, our words have so much power, and I don't even want to call it a bad day. But when we're having a bump in the road, let's just say a little bump in the road, for me, the best thing to do is catch it as early as possible. Don't let it keep, don't let, as soon as you start getting those negative thoughts that, oh my gosh, I'm not feeling this, or this bad thing just happened. It is important to, and that's why I say mindset truly is everything, because it's important at that point to be able to say that, hey, let me right here, right now, start shifting my thoughts from negative thoughts to positive thoughts. So yes, this bad thing happened. Let's say you got into an accident. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Like, oh my goodness. And then it was your fault, or maybe it wasn't your fault. Let's just say you got into an accident. It's about, instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, I got into an accident, I don't know what I'm gonna do, da 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 da, start shifting those thoughts immediately. Well, at least I didn't, at least I'm not in the hospital, or even if you are, at least I'm not dead, or at least it wasn't my fault. Like, pick out the positives in that bad situation. And so, that's one of the things that I do. So first of all, it's about, changing that thought pattern very quickly. But then I go in and I listen to some music that's going to uplift me. So now it's not more so, I go through a lot of different phases when it comes to the music, but now it's more so I like a lot of dance music, a lot of music with no lyrics, because when there's no lyrics, it allows for you to really be able to tune into the vibration of the music. And you are able to, like, that's how I get a lot of my downloads too. Like, a lot of I'm able to hear clearly because there's no lyrics. And a lot of times, you get into singing the tune to where you're not even focused on it's a place where I'm able to hear clearly when I listen to music. But back to those bad days, it's about finding music that's going to uplift you and change you from that negative point of view that you might currently be in. So that is one of the main things I did. And it was like, once I did that, when I was really going through that series of bumps in the roads where I was, what I felt like was in my valley time, one of my valley times, I noticed once I started changing my music. Now, I still listen to my Christian music. I still listen to, those things. But when I noticed when I changed that, the tears began to, and I don't know if it was because I didn't have any more to cry or if it was just the change of the atmosphere of what was going into my ear gate. And so, at that point, I began to, like, the days just began to get brighter. And so, what's another thing that helps me when I'm having a bump in the road on a day? It is gratitude. Like I say, that's my end all be all. That is the number one thing. So, and that's a part of, thinking about the positives, but it's just about finding something you're thankful for, finding something that you're grateful for beyond that bad circumstance that might be going on at that time. So that really, really helps me. And if we're, talking about at work, if you're going through something at work, they always say take a couple deep breaths, which is really good. Like, you'll be surprised. It's so simple, like, oh, take some deep breaths. But once you really do like 3 deep breaths, or as many as you need to, it really does relieve a lot of the pressure that's in the body. And I'm not getting into the science behind it, because I'm not really even talking about that. Like, I talk about from personal experience. Like, I'm not talking about something I read. Like, that stuff is good too, but these are things that have, like, really truly just ultimately helped me. So when we're talking about that, the just when you're at work, you do those deep breaths, and you can do that at home as well. But then another thing, your health is wealth. Like, if you don't have your health, which includes your mental health, then you have nothing. You're not going to be able to operate at your highest potential, or operate at all, if you don't have those things in line. So no matter what, if you need to go and take a break, step outside, get some fresh air, do whatever it needs to do that's going to allow for you to get into that place to where you can shift away from whatever's going on in your environment. Get away from it for a minute, have some time to think clearly, and go outside and start thinking about the things that you're grateful for. And then it's going to make whatever that bad thing is, it's going to make it become smaller and smaller. It's like, yeah, that thing is still there. But then when you start looking at, like, gratitude shifts everything. It shifts your perspective. It shifts how you feel. It shifts your mood. And it allows for that bump in the road, not to turn into a bad day in those bad days and bad weeks, because it's important to catch it as soon as possible, because if not, that's how, habits are formed, because it becomes something that you're doing so frequently to where you don't even realize it anymore. You're thinking these negative thoughts all the time, to where it's like it just becomes second nature, and so now you're always in this negative, you have a negative perspective on life, and you're just always just that negative Nancy, so they say. So for me, like I say, get out there, get a breath of fresh air, take some time to think about what you are thankful for. Look at the sun. I mean, the simple things. Look at the trees. Look at the things, God's creations. Look at those things. And I can almost guarantee you that it's going to make your day a lot better. And you'll be able to shift and not make that bump in the road something more than it has to be. We are ultimately in control. So what we do, it truly does matter. So hopefully that is, like, and sometimes, and something that I've learned is that I talk about these things, and I'm like they say a lot of times, like, I'm one of the first receivers. Like, we were talking about the growth mindset last month, and like I've been faced with that here recently a lot. And then now we're talking about kindness, and literally the day that the first winning Wednesday, where we were talking about kindness, I was faced with opportunity to be kind with someone that was like really out of the ordinary. And it just allows for you to be able to put things in perspective and see, like, wow, like, to see it in action. It's a beautiful thing. And so, I allow for myself to be the vessel to say, you know what, if something has to happen to me to be able to help someone else, it's all worth it. Like, it's worth it. Yes, the first partaker. So, let me take some time and look at these comments. I'm really learning. I'm learning how to navigate through this. Hello, hello, beautiful. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, hello. And your smile is a weapon as well. You're so beautiful. Yes. So thankfully, and yes, breathing is definitely essential. And we are indeed the first partaker. So, yes, think about God's grace. It is sufficient for our lives. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So, I think that's enough for our little nugget for today. Hopefully, you all were able to get something out of it, just to, because these are things that we might already know, but it just allows, when you have an opportunity to put things in perspective, and then it just allows for you to, who knows, you might encounter a bad day on tomorrow, and then you might be, we're not calling them bad days. You might encounter a bump on the road on tomorrow, and then it'll be at the forefront of your mind. So it truly is what it is. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead. I think I've talked enough. I think I've set enough, because I'll keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this week's community appreciation credit recipient, as well as this week's light lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You are so very welcome. You're so welcome. So let's get into this week's will. Do you see your name on the will? Do you see your name on the will? If you do, then kudos to you, because you have a chance to be this week's light lighter. So we're going to go ahead and spend. Do I want to spend? 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 Look, I'm thinking. Yeah, we'll spin first, and then I'll say. Let's see who this week's. Let's do a drum roll. Oh my goodness. Okay, good. I was like, no, not LJ. I'm sorry. Awesome. I wanted to light her up this week too, but I was like, I want to make it a little bit fun and do the will. So yeah, she's so deserving. She has been so amazing. And that's another side note. I don't care if it's the same old 4 or 5 people. You can win, or I don't even want to say win, but you can be a recipient as many times as you want. So, but I do want to make mention that, we've had a lot of new followers. We are obtaining a lot of new followers on a daily basis. And I do want to say, do not be scared to join in. Like, now, this is the perfect time, because of the fact that there's so much opportunity. Like, there's a lot of opportunity for you to be noticed and to shine your light and be the next light lighter. So, go ahead. Don't be scared. I know sometimes people are a little bit, they want something when they see it's not that many people. They're like, oh, I don't want to stand out. I don't want to stand out. But you better stand out and go ahead and get you some money so you can go get your toes done. Or you can go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave the fellas out. You can go, I don't know, some men like manicures, or you can go get you some lunch or whatever it is that lights you up, literally, whatever it is. Do not be afraid. I mean, we're talking about practically free money here. And if you don't want to take advantage of it, then the ones who are will, and y'all continue doing it because it's way bigger than what the eye can truly see. So let's go ahead and get into how much you're going to get. Miss Tanny, you're so amazing. I hope I'm saying that right. Let's do it. We're gonna just, I think I have it. Oh my goodness, I don't have it. I thought I had the numbers copied and paste, but whatever. Let's do it right here, live in action. We're gonna go to 60 today. Should we? Maybe we'll go to 70. Who cares, right? I'm going to shuffle it too because I want to make sure that this is like super official, so they say, right? How much are you getting today? Woo! All right. That's $40 right there for you and in your pocket. Amazing. Congratulations to you. You will indeed be receiving a message from us so that you can receive that community appreciation credit. Now, I do want to say that there was an individual that I want to have a second light lighter that I want to highlight on today. And her name is Laura. She got noticed on this past week because she lit us up. She really did light us up. However, I'm not sure if she's even going to be on this stream or even see. And so this is why the shine signals, this is why that is there. It serves two purposes. It allows for me to be able to easily be able to contact people and then be able to tag people and reach out to them, because she's somebody that I really want to light up for, shining bright in our community. However, some people, you can't message them, you can't tag them depending on their settings. So I don't even know how to get in contact with her. So I do want to say her name is Laura S. Let me see. Let me get it. Let me do it. If I'm going to do it, let me do it right. Correct? Let's see. What is her name? I don't think it's that far back. Miss Laura Esmali. So if you do so happen to watch this live stream on today and reach to the end, then there is a surprise for you. So if you will message us, I can't message you, I can't tag you. So if you message Inspire with Indy, I'm sorry, Inspire with Paris. I'm just kidding. But if you message Inspire with Indy with Light Lighter, send us a message. Just say Light Lighter or whatever you want to say. Just send us a message and you will be lit up with a community appreciation credit as well. So if you're out there, then please go ahead and send us a message, because I love to give away free money. I love to be kind. I mean, you got to show God what you do, and then he gives you more and more and more. That's why I say it's way bigger than what the eye sees. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you all for tuning in with us tonight. Like, y'all are so amazing. Y'all are truly some amazing supporters, and I wouldn't mind lighting y'all up every single week, because you all have been the pillars that have allowed for me to keep on going. And I'm gonna do it anyway as long as I'm told to do it. But it just does make all the difference having that support. That's a beautiful thing, and may God bless you all dearly for that. Like, that's a beautiful thing to support others. And if you're out there watching, go ahead and join in. Don't be scared. We ain't scared over here. That's a little insider, but I ain't scared. If you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. But go ahead and join in. Don't be afraid. You don't have to share the post all the time. You can just like it. You can just, comment, show us that you're here and you're watching in the background, and you might be lit up in the forefront. So, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and check on out of here. Got things to do, places to be by myself, learning and gaining more direction for my life. I mean, it matters. And just one more thing, like it's very, very, I speak what I speak truly to try to help someone, not because I feel like I'm better than anyone else, or like, first of all, I will listen to, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you are 10. You might be able to teach me something that someone else can't, or that I don't know myself, because it's not about your age, it's about your experiences. You have people who might be 40 or 50 or even 70 years old, but maybe they lived the straight and narrow their whole life. Like, they went from 18, they got a job, and they've been at that job for 30 years, and that's really all they know. And then you have someone who might be, let's say, 18, and they have been in the streets, they have seen a lot, they have done a lot, and they have a lot more experiences. And, you can learn something from them, or, maybe learn what not to do, or they might be able to tell you, especially if they turned their life around, they might be able to tell you something. So, I don't judge. It's not even about the vessel, it's about what's coming out. And if it's productive, if it's something that is, exactly. And I hate to even say, I don't want to be haughty, but it's truly a thing. So I like to listen to anyone that I believe can help. And I'm saying these things, and I come and share these things because of the fact that I'm telling you these things from someone who has gotten through things literally by myself, not having someone to, like friends and family members. Like I say, I had my mom and dad, but I can't just, like, I can call them, but they have not been right here on the day-to-day basis. I'm here in the now, in the present, myself, getting over hurdles, learning how am I going to navigate. Like, when I was going through crying every single day, there wasn't anyone here that I could say, please, can I just get a hug? Or, can I just talk to you? Can I let some things out to you? It was no one there. I had to learn how to heal myself. And so, I really recommend that everyone takes some time. And I know it's hard because we have so many obligations in life, but it you can really just take some time to spend a week, even if it's just a week or a couple of days, like, but really you need at least a couple of weeks, or I would say 30 days, to just be by yourself, not depending on any external sources. It builds a level of strength and resilience, because now you're learning how to get through things without depending on others. And then it makes you stronger, because it's like, man, I see now that, I mean, we all do need people. I get that, but it just allows for you to be able to see that, wow, I can do this. Like I don't have to depend on other people for my happiness, for my joy. And that's why I'm able to be so happy and joyful by myself, because it's like I've been all that I've had for a while, in a sense, you know what I mean? No discredit to anyone else in their respective places. But I think I've said enough. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from with that. But I'm so thankful for you all. I hope that y'all have a beautiful rest of you all's night, that you all take care, that you take some time for yourself. And back to that, maybe we need another COVID so that we can experience some things. But yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I truly do appreciate you all. You all are beautiful. Y'all have a beautiful rest of you all's night. Take care. And I am so excited and ready to already see you all on next week and see who we're going to be celebrating next. You all take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you, and just live in peace and on purpose. Y'all have a beautiful night.